Hey everyone, and welcome back to Legally Teaching Engineer Sports. I'm Dylan here with Max Loga. Today will be Thursday, March 26th, and today's episode 161, Huckin' Around. That's right, I didn't say the F word, I said the H word. I said hucking around. Max, what are we doing today?
We've got the same docket where we're going to have Vino's vocalized variations, round table, DM slip sliding, some uninterrupted unk, cooler talk questions, and we're going to get to the main entree of Nick. Help me out with the last name, Dylan.
Huckabee.
Coming on to talk March Madness and everything great about the back end of March here.
Yep. And then we're just gonna ask a bunch of random questions to Nick. Nick is an enigma. He is a UT Law graduate. He is a Kentuckian, maybe an Alabaman. We're gonna figure that all out. Looking forward to having him on at the end of the episode. But before we get there, let's get it going. Episode 161, Hucking Around.
Hanging around, hawking around. I tried. I shot my
Oh, okay, okay.
shot.
All right, all right, all
Maybe it
right,
fell
all right.
flat. Maybe it fell flat.
No, I like it. I like it. I wasn't sure we were going with that. I just didn't know, but I like it. That's
Yeah.
good stuff. Hucking around.
Yeah.
All right, tonight's episode, today's episode, Thursday, March 26th, is again brought to us by Marsh and Rothenbuehler Attorneys. Marsh and Rothenbuehler, a professional plug of legal pundits ready and willing to help you take care of all your estate planning, business, title, real estate, and general fuckery legal needs. Stop into their Bowling Green office or give them a call at 419-352-2518, and a team member will get you in and out quicker than Ryan Blaney's pit crew. Marsh and Rothenbuehler, your legal guide filled with American pride. Trademark pending. And that might be a competitor for Mr. Huckabee's firm. Mr. Huckabee does work for a law firm, so I'll have to ask about the competition there. But Nick does corporate law, so I don't think they're probably button heads there.
Not bumping heads there.
Probably not bumping heads. Let's get to Vino's vocalized vivation, brought to us by Kong Catnip. Let your cat get high as a kite, unless they start to bite. What you got, Max?
Yeah. So Dylan's been putting this into my head probably like 3 weeks ago before even start of March. He kept going, I that week, Max, I that weekend. And we're here. It is that weekend. So I wrote down the dates, March 26th through the 29th. Um, it is a sports watcher's dream. It is a great weekend, folks. You're going to listen to this podcast as you wake up, hit your treadmill, run your miles. And then about college hockey starts early today with Michigan State, UConn. I don't have that time written down, so I don't give a shit. But it's going to start with hockey regionals on Thursday. It's going to roll into the nightcap to start the Sweet 16 for men's basketball. Meanwhile, the same time going on, we're going to have opening day for all 32, well, all teams in the MLB besides the Yankees and the Giants. You're going to have your NBA sprinkled in there coming down to the final push for the playoffs. You have the NHL with your teams. If you're in the West or Eastern Conference, there's like 7 teams in the hunt. So if we got listeners in New York, if we got listeners in New Jersey, you're all on the edge of your seat. So this weekend is my Vino's Vivations moment.
Well done, 5 out of 5. Couldn't have said it better myself because that's literally what I wrote down too. So nailed it. Ditto to all of that. This is going to be an electric weekend. Let me just myself as a Michigan fan and Max, I've decided we're Michigan men now. As I'm my 8th year of season ticket holder of Michigan basketball, you're in your second. We're Michigan men. We're just going to wear the hats. You know, great night for Michigan sports on Friday. Michigan hockey at 5:30. Michigan basketball at 7:30, Tigers at 9:30, UConn basketball at 9:45, 10 o'clock. Gonna be a great night. Honestly, it's a great weekend, like you said. So I can't say any better. than what you just did. So well freaking done. I did print out the hockey bracket, by the way, because I'm very excited for that.
Here you go. Do you have times on that? Do you know what time?
Thursday, the first game is at 1:30. Is Michigan State
It
versus
is
Utah.
Michigan. Yep.
1:30
Yeah, and it's on ESPN too for all of you that want to watch. Get your fix of
is correct.
hockey.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's exciting. And then I just had to look this one up. But Michigan women play Saturday
Yeah. Yep.
in
Saturday against
Louisville.
Louisville. Yep.
Yeah.
Trav, throw your L's up.
Very
Tough,
relevant.
tough loss. We'll get into March Madness, but I just want to shout out to Travis Simmons. Tough loss for him and his Louisville Cardinals to Michigan State on Saturday or Sunday, whenever that was. I know he's really heartbroken by that one. I remember back in 2013, he couldn't root harder for the Louisville Cardinals. So sorry, Trav. All right, let's get it going to the round table. Max, we haven't had a podcast in a month. We've been traveling, we've been bobbing, we've been weaving, we've been doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So we've got a lot to talk about. What do you want to start with first?
I'm gonna let you hit lead off because I want to see how far back we're gonna take this podcast. So
I'm not going that far back, but I am going to hit on the World Baseball Classic.
Okay.
Was it a disappointment for the United States of America?
No.
Okay. I say yes.
Wait. For baseball players alike, or are we talking the whole United States of America?
The United States of America baseball team.
Oh yeah, absolute disappointment.
Okay.
That is your pastime. That is your game, and you just pissed dog down your leg and had 3 hits.
How was it not a disappointment? Let me hear the flip side of that.
I mean, well, it is a disappointment, but in Venezuela's eyes, that's their Super Bowl. That's their Olympics. That's their whole shebang wrapped up in one thing. So they're coming guns and blazing.
Yeah, fair enough. Who took the biggest L on Team USA, in your opinion?
Tariq Skubal. He didn't even play. I mean, Aaron Judge is up there too because he fell fat in his face. But Skubal had the opportunity to pitch the championship game, and he would have given them 4 innings of one-hit baseball, and that would have set them up nicely. But instead, he pitched his 4 innings in Lakeland and called it good. So
he didn't pitch. I saw him wearing Larkin's hockey jersey. Lots of pictures from the Detroit Tigers' social media. He wasn't playing though. He just wore the jersey and came to the game.
Yeah, he was like the manager. He just dressed up. He played dress up. He played dress up.
Weird.
Yeah.
Max and I have said this. Tarek Skubal needs to fire his social media team or his representation. Very bad job handling the situation. Horrible job. You got to piss or get off the pot kind of situation. And he was like trying to squat and started pissing and then like dribbled down the toilet seat. So bad look for Tarek. I would actually say the biggest L taken was the U.S. manager, DeRosa.
Oh, yeah.
What a dumbass. Loser almost cost them even getting into the quarterfinals because he didn't know they had not qualified after they had beaten Mexico, so they got spanked by Italy. I was furious. I woke up late, watched the end of that Italy USA game, and it just started coming out how he had no idea that they had not qualified yet. So yeah, he took probably the biggest L, and then it was Skubal, and then it was very close to being Bryce Harper until he hit that game tying home run against Venezuela, but very close to Bryce Harper. Yeah, disappointing in my opinion, but it was a cool tournament. What else you got?
I mean,
let's just do it. NBA.
I was gonna go NBA or NHL, so we can go to the NBA. It sounds good with me. Pistons, shout out to them, clinch a spot in playoffs. That's sweet. Kind of put it on cruise control, but they're not, which is very exciting. Kate Cunningham's back in the gym. I saw that today. So he has a collapsed lung. Dylan and I did a little research on this. Collapsed lung and a punctured lung are almost one of the same. So I think he may have broken a rib, which caused it. And I went back and saw the video. He did take a gnarly knee straight to the side, like side rib back area. But he's back. What else do you have to say?
I didn't know that. Yes, the Pistons have clinched. Gilbert Arenas said they wouldn't win 3 games without Cade, and they proceeded to go 3-0 in the next 3. So shout out to Gilbert, ball knower. The Pistons have dogs. They have Dennis Jenkins is a dog. Beef Stew is out, and they still beat the Lakers. Very impressive. Very much looking forward to a playoff run for the Pistons. They're up 5 games on the Celtics, and I believe also the Cavs are tied for second right now. So very looking forward to that. But let's talk about the hockey team in Detroit. Max, in or out on the Red Wings?
I'm out. I'll give you a stat.
Yep.
Before we get into this. So last night I was watching the game. Mickey and Ken on the broadcast, listening to it. First game in a long time I've listened to it. They said they had 12 games to go last night, so they're down to 11. For them to control their own destiny, they project them to win 9 out of those 12. So they just pissed that one away. So now it's down to 9 of 11 to control their own destiny. And I'm no mathematician, but I just don't think the Rebels are going to win 9 out of their next 11 games.
9-11, you say?
9-11.
Never been good for
Are you
America.
in or out?
I'm in. Now is the time. So now all the Red Wings fans that we know and love so well, basically Lions fans are out. So I'm jumping in. So I'm getting when the coals starting to smoke a little bit and starting to sputter out. I'm in. I think they'll do it. I think Larkin's back. I think Senators have a better leadership, better hunger. I think the Red Wings saw that across the bench there and said, okay, maybe we should try to play like that. So I think they will moving forward. I think they're going to get in. They're going to scratch and claw. They're only one game back of the last spot and 2 games back of the second to last spot or the number one wild card. So I think they can do it. So I have faith.
I will say the loss against Ottawa, it stings, but it doesn't sting that bad because everybody ahead of them and around them also lost.
There you go.
So they kind of just stood stagnant. Ottawa did jump them, but everybody stayed about the same spots. That's good.
Yeah, excellent. All right, let's stick with hockey, college hockey. Let's do
Yeah.
that. So I have the bracket sitting in front of me. Selection show, one of the dumbest pieces of TV I've ever watched in my entire life. Was on Sunday at 3 o'clock, featuring 3 of the least well spoken people I've ever seen on the ESPN show or ESPN rights. They had your guy Bucci Max.
Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be slobbing on
Uh,
UConn's knob and
oh
Michigan
yeah,
State too.
oh yeah. So the draw it came out basically. Michigan's heading to Albany, New York. They play Bentley, and then they have Minnesota Duluth and Penn State in theirs. Um, the other probably draw of death was where Western Michigan's headed. They're headed to Loveland, Colorado, so the home site of Denver, to face Minnesota State, not a slouch, and then Denver's playing Cornell, so that's tough sledding for Western. And then at the bottom of the bracket, we have Michigan State going to Worcester, playing UConn, as we just previously said, and then Dartmouth and Wisconsin, probably a weak other 2 teams. And then North Dakota has Merrimack, Providence, and Quinnipiac in their bracket. What's your Frozen Four look like?
So I'm gonna go Michigan, Western, North Dakota, Dartmouth.
Okay, Dartmouth. They haven't been in the NCAA tournament since 1980. Picking them now.
No, and realistically, if I do a realistic one, I would give it to. It's probably going to be Michigan State if Trey Augustine plays like he can play. But if he's not, he's got to have an off day. I'm going to give it to Wisconsin. Wisconsin's turned the ship. They can score. They can score with the best of them. So
How was their
Wisconsin.
last game that Wisconsin played on March 6th? Do you know how that went?
No, I can't say how to go.
Okay, I can tell you how it went. They lost 7-1 to Ohio State.
Oh, okay. Well, Ohio State was playing for something. Ohio State was a Big Ten runner up,
Yep.
so
Yep.
can't
True.
can't knock them there. So I'm
Okay.
going to go Wisconsin out of that one.
Okay. So who do you have winning it all over who?
I've got Michigan playing. Well, I didn't tell you, or North Dakota. Michigan versus North Dakota.
Yep, that'll work. And then Michigan winning it all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. When's the last time you think Michigan has won a Frozen Four game?
Want a Frozen Four game? I'm going to. It's going to be longer than I anticipate, so I'm going to. No, they're 2018.
2011.
Damn. All right, farther.
Yeah. Been a little bit. They go to lots of Frozen Fours, don't win lots of games there. I do think they come out of their bracket as well. I have no idea about Western Michigan, Denver, but I'm going to give it to Denver because they're playing on their home rink. That's bullshit. And then I think the winner of UConn, Michigan State actually wins that bracket. UConn, very solid team during the regular season for the most part. Went to their regular season championship or playoff championship game, lost. I think UConn's kind of sneaky. They lost to Penn State in overtime or double overtime to get to Frozen Four, so they didn't make it. They're on the doorstep last year. Um, so I'll take whoever wins between Michigan State and UConn, and then I also have North Dakota, and then I have probably North Dakota playing Michigan as well, and I'm going to take Michigan as well. So we have the same final game. And just
um, what was I just gonna ask you? I totally just draw the blank. It was about hockey. Oh, that's
all right. The Frozen Four will be in Las
oh,
Vegas.
hot take. Do you think the number one or not the number one seeds should be able to host these instead of putting them in locations that nobody likes, like Albany, New York?
So I see people saying yes to that. No, I don't want it to look like women's college basketball. I just think maybe you have more sites ready to be selected. You have like 8 sites that are predetermined, and then you base them off the one seeds.
So
Because
like
it would be
instead
no
of
different. It would be no different than the notice that you would have for the one seed hosting, right? So you'd have 8 different places. So if one was Toledo, Ohio this year, Michigan would get to go there because they're the number one overall seed.
yeah, but that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm saying. They need. Why can't it be at Yost?
I don't know. I just don't like it. I think it needs to go somewhere neutral. It's an NCAA tournament. I think it's dumber than shit that the women host the first weekend of March Madness in college basketball.
Yeah,
I think a neutral site needs to be had, but I think you can pick 4 more sites and then choose the closest one based
because
on.
and theoretically, if you put pen to paper, I guarantee you Happy Valley is closer to Albany, New York than Michigan is. So that's a bunch of crock bullshit. Once again,
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes.
so it's frustrating.
First fun fact, first time they've ever or in the last like I think ever actually. I'm gonna go with ever. Been in the March Brennan bracket March
Yeah,
Madness tournament for hockey and have not played in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
of course not.
They've only been in like 4 times, so
Yeah, but that's just stupid.
yeah. All right. Looking forward to it. Yes, it starts Thursday, 1:30. And then the regional championship games will be Saturday and Sunday. Two Saturday, two Sunday. So enjoy some college hockey. It's ESPN2, ESPNU, and then ESPN Plus. So good stuff. What you got, Max?
Um, Tigers.
Baseball.
Let's get to the baseball before we get to the main entree of what we want to talk about. Are you excited?
For what?
Tigers baseball.
Well, I'm wearing my Major League Baseball Players Alumni sweater, my V-neck, my deep V, and so I'm generally excited for baseball. You and I have recently joined a fantasy baseball group. Uh,
Yep.
I drafted a thoroughbred team, all white people. It was a decision I made pretty about round 4. Um, so I'm excited for that. I'm excited for baseball. I'm not sure I'm excited for the Netflix game tonight. That's pretty stupid. And
Yep.
I am extremely excited for Detroit Tigers baseball this year. What about you?
Yeah, I'm excited for baseball in general to be back. That kind of means warmer weather's on the horizon for us Michiganders, so that's exciting. And I am extremely excited for Tigers baseball. I know I can dwell on them, kind of be a Debbie Downer, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see Scooble pitch live action. Excited to see Justin Verlander, Valdez. I'm excited to see the dogs. So it'll be sweet.
Hot take. I want to see the Tigers have a really bad start and then just have like one of the best summers ever. I wouldn't mind a little leg room at Comerica,
Yeah.
like May. So
Yeah. I can get behind that like that one year when they won and snuck like 2 years ago when they came
yeah.
in and snuck by. Yep. I'm with that. I can get behind it.
But I want to see an AL Central title. I want to see them go to the ALCS, if not win it. Hopefully win it. Um, yeah, and we're back as ushers, so look for us at Comerica Park if you're headed in. And
Yep.
the one of the new there's a couple new features, but one of the cooler new features that nobody will ever be able to partake in, and Comerica is the only baseball stadium in America who's doing this. There's going to be suites in the press row, so you will be able to basically there's going to be a glass wall, I believe.
Yeah.
You'll be able to look over and see all the beat writers, the announcer for the stadium, the organ player, and you get served like a full 3-course meal, I believe. So kind of weird, but kind of
Yeah.
sweet.
Yeah. And then you have access to every other suite in the park. So
Yep.
you kind of
And
got free roam of the park.
yeah, and don't ask me where you can or can't go because I have no clue, and I'm an usher. So all right, good stuff. Looking forward to the Tigers. We'll do a more thorough baseball preview in a couple weeks. Okay, last thing we want to talk about. I know it's March Madness. I got my bracketologist shirt over here. We're gonna get more into it with Mr. Nick Huckabee. So we're gonna generally hold off. But Max, I want your thoughts on the Big Ten tournament. We were boots on the ground. Michigan lost in the championship game to Purdue, but it was everything that I had hoped for. They were there. 3 awesome games. The last one was kind of a tough one, obviously. But what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'd recommend. I would recommend going. It was sweet if you like basketball. It was a lot of fun. Michigan played the early slate on Friday, so we got to watch them beat Ohio State. And then the next 3 games, we kind of just hung out and watched. It was sweet. It was awesome. Um, I'd recommend it. Like Dylan said, they got to the final dance, just um, couldn't pull it off, and that's okay. Bigger fish to fry. Uh,
Yep.
but it was fun. I'd recommend it. Yeah.
Yeah. Most annoying people you met.
Um,
Yeah, I agree. Um, okay, so we'll get into March Madness with Huckabee in a second. But for now, I think that's it for Roundtable. Do you have anything else?
That'll be it. I'm good. No.
All right, let's keep it cooking. Let's move on to Serenity Now, brought to us by Jewelers Mutual. Have a recent jewelry purchase that causes more anxiety than, oh, that's so pretty? Call 1-800 Boys now. Jewelers Mutual is a worldwide, locally grown, proud jeweler insurance conglomerate that swears and promises their ISIS affiliation is only a rumor and rumor only. So just trust them. Call 1-800 Boys now to get your terrifyingly tariff-free low rate. Hands up. It's a beaut. What you got, Max? Nothing?
No, you go first.
You have something, though.
I have something. You go first.
You're not going to say this. My story now is pissy, passionless people frowning at and forming opinions of ferociously outspoken fans. We were at the Big Ten tournament. Our dad was with us. We were jumping with glee and hollering with happiness. And Wisconsin fans were just like very confused with our outspokenness and joy. So fuck you. And surrender now. What you got, Max?
Mine's kind of up the same alley. It's face forward. That's all I'm going to say. Just face forward. Many of times at the Big Ten tournament, we would be cheering nothing inappropriate, nothing out loud, but people would turn around and look at us for our fandom. It's just face forward.
That's what you actually had.
Yeah.
You're not gonna start right now Detroit Sportsnet.
Oh no, I did not know
Okay,
that.
do that. Change
That's
that.
that's just that. I wrote this while I was at school, and while we were texting, that just surpassed my
Oh,
serenity.
okay. Well, do
Serenity now
Detroit
at Detroit
Sportsnet.
Sportsnet. It's a cluster. Dylan
Yeah,
and I spent a good 45 minutes going back and forth on figuring out how we're going to be able to watch the Tigers throughout the season. I don't think we've come to any conclusions yet. They're not announcing anything until Thursday. So while you're listening to this podcast at 8 a.m., they probably haven't even announced what cables are affiliated with them. It's a shit show. It's just all for money and gripe, and it's very annoying.
well
Serenity.
done. Well done. I set you up though. They announced something. I really just wanted to set you up.
What
So they announced they are affiliated with Charter Spectrum. They are affiliated with Xfinity, and they even announced channels that you can find them with. Um, but basically, everyone else, you are on your own. You have to pay for the app. So good luck. Yeah, that sucks.
Serenity.
The payment of the app is what I'm gonna have to do, and that's Serenity now. That sucks.
Serenity now.
Hey. All right, let's keep cooking. DM sliding brought to us by Pop Shot. Remember, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Max, I'm going first. If you do recall, in our last podcast, episode 160 a month ago, I reached out to my old friend Bruce Rondone, a former Toledo Mudhen / Detroit Tiger. He used to drink Bud Lights in the clubhouse, a little bit on the field. I asked if he had retired. I had recently seen that he had been pitching in the Mexican League about a year and a half ago. So I just wanted to know. I did get a response. The response was, quote, I don't have a job in Mexico.
But he's not retired. He's still in the game.
No confirmation on retirement from Bruce Rondone, but he does not work in Mexico, if anyone was wondering. So
He's
there we
still
go.
in the game. He's a free agent. If anybody's listening.
All right. So I'm about 2 for 11. This morning, I did my DM slide. I backdoored into one of Max's previous slides. Mr. John Buchagras.
He responded.
I just set him up with a friendly one. I set him up with basically, hey, John, where will you be announcing this weekend? What region are you head to? Just a one-worder, Denver.
Oh.
So when the time is right, John, I know you're not listening, but I'm going to strike. Strike when the iron is hot. Thank you for your response.
He will be calling the championship game between Denver and Western Michigan, and he will be slobbing on Denver's knob, and that was when you strike. That's when you pounce.
Yeah, he already wants the West. Don't know where the West is. The crew who was doing the selection show didn't know where the West started and the West ended, really, it sounded like. But Johnny Boy Butchergrass is in love with the West, wherever that is. So,
yeah.
John, thanks for your response and looking forward to talking to you soon. Max, what you got?
Wow, it's tough to follow. That's tough to follow. I DM slid into Jeff Lube. He is a younger brother of a person I went to LBC with. He's currently the second baseman slash shortstop at Duke baseball. He's a junior. So as baseball turns into full fledged, hopefully we can get him on to talk about the ACC baseball.
Yeah, that's definitely what's most important at Duke right now. It's a good call. All right, that's a good one, Max. Well done. Um, yeah, really, really well done. You're coming through with these. I like this.
Yeah. I mean, you've got a response about a guy just claiming his allegiance to America, and then
Yeah.
John Buccigross that DMs anybody.
No, Bruce is definitely not in America. So
Well,
if
yeah,
it's
he's claiming it for reasons you can think about. He's claiming his
no, 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 no,
allegiance to
no.
America. He doesn't work in Mexico. Relax.
For all our listeners, Bruce, I only gave Bruce Rondon a follow on Instagram because I was tickled pink by one of his posts that somehow came across my Instagram feed like 4 years ago. He had his own cockfighting pit. Yeah, actual chickens. He built a cockfighting pit down in like Puerto Rico or something. That's why I follow Bruce Rondon. He's a legend. So don't ever forget it. But let's keep cooking. Uninterrupted unks brought to us by Depend. Going to March Madness events, a sporting event with never-ending bathroom lines, or just trying to impress the boys with some piss dogs? We've got the stuff that you can absolutely DEPEND on. That's right. Depend adult diapers for men are available at your local Walmart or like-minded store. Drink, enjoy, piss, express, no doubt. Depend. Mention LTES at checkout and watch the cashiers piss themselves with savings. Max, what is your advice?
My advice is to have at least two hot dogs on an opening day. So tomorrow, I bought some brats. I'm planning on grilling some brats. I'm gonna have brats on opening day. Make sure you have some festivities. My nephews, you probably will like hot dogs growing up. You better like hot dogs. Have a couple on opening day. Crack a couple cold beers. It's America's pastime.
You think a kid named Malachi is going to really like hot dogs, eh?
Let's he's gonna grow up on that.
All right. I like that.
I
I
was
love the sentiment. I don't know about the nephew comment, but I
I
like the hot
mean,
dog sentiment.
oh, you're talking about my nephew Malachi. I thought you were just talking about kids named Malachi.
Yeah, yeah.
Kids named Malachi, they grow up on that. My nephew named Malachi, probably not.
Okay, fair enough. No, it's perfect. I went March Madness, you went opening day. Mine is print out the bracket, memorize the schedule, watch every game. Time is fleeting. Oh, so true, Dylan. Oh, so true. So Max, next year I think we make the nephews fill out brackets, even if it's just like they're like pointing at something we show them. So then we have a little competition, nephew to nephew.
They should be able to do that. We
Yep.
should be able to.
They'll be like 2 and 1 and some change. So yeah, we can do that.
Absolutely.
All right, it's on. All right, before we get to Mr. Nick Huckabee, let us do some LTES Cooler Talk questions. 5 questions, 30 seconds. Max, are you asking or answering?
I'm answering.
Perfect, because I wrote some questions down. Where is the NFL draft this year?
Pittsburgh.
That is correct. 1 for 1. In the last 10 years, in the Big Ten only, who has the most NCAA tournament wins? And for an extra point, how many?
Purdue.
Is in second, I believe.
Ooh. Then it's gonna have to be Michigan State.
It is Michigan with
Oh,
19 wins.
okay.
And let me just double check. Michigan with 19, Purdue with 18. So good job with Purdue. They are second. Michigan State with 15.
Okay. All right.
So Michigan dominant in the last 10 years in March Madness. Speaking of Michigan, who is Michigan's commencement speaker come May?
Jalen Rose.
Very nice. Well done. Let's keep going with the Michigan-ish. Where does Hunter Dickinson currently play?
He just dropped an insane amount of points in the.
Yep.
I saw this highlight. It was a dark, scary gym. He was wearing like a gray jersey. Don't know.
Do you know his NBA affiliate?
I want to say I feel like he was playing in Memphis somewhere. So I'm gonna go with like he's part of OKC.
It's not too far off. New Orleans Pelicans,
Damn.
and the G League squad team is Birmingham Squadron.
Okay, that makes sense because he did play for the Pelicans for a hot second. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. All right.
well, pretty good. All right, last question. Who are the last three NCAA hockey champions? And you can start with like the most recent going backwards.
Western,
Yep.
Denver. Um, it's either I'm gonna go Boston.
Or who's your other guess?
Boston College or Boston. It's year Michigan lost to Boston College, got absolutely slacked by Indiana.
Michigan did lose to this team, but you're thinking of the wrong year. Maybe the right year, but they lost to Quinnipiac.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah,
right.
they did. Quinnipiac. And
Nice.
then before that was Denver.
Denver again.
Well done, Max. All right. That is all for the first portion of our podcast, episode 161 of Legally Teaching Engineer Sports. Hucking around the corner, you will hear from our GHLer, Mr. Nick Huckabee. And we're back with episode 161 of Legally Teaching Engineer Sports, Hucking Around. Max, we're to the main entree of today's episode on Thursday, March 26th. We have our special guest. Before we get to him, let me introduce him myself. He is a longtime GHLer, a first-time guest, a rocket charger, shoemaker partner, known for spaghetti tossing, legal spewing, Big Blue Nation loving, Reds guy, who this week is legally teaching engineer sports, March Madness expert. Nick Huckabee, welcome to the show.
Hey, let's
Let's
go.
go. Thank you, Loga Brothers, for having me. Appreciate it.
It's been a long time coming. Nick and I have been texting about this for, I'd say, months. I've been anticipating having you on. I'm glad you're coming on for March Madness. We're going to have you on for future topics. I know you're an avid NASCAR fan, and I know you hit a mean softball. So those are two other things I'll probably have you back on for.
Yeah, for sure. Happy to be here, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. Max, let's get it going. Let's get the ball rolling. Some March Madness talk.
We've been teasing all episodes, so let's get into it. You want to recap it, or do we just want to jump right to the Sweet 16?
How are we feeling, boys, about the tournament so far? Let's just go rankings 1 out of 10. Max, what do you feel about it?
Give it a 4 because I lost my survivor pool on game 2 of the NCAA tournament. So off to a rocky start there, but it turned it around. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10.
Mr. Huckabee.
I think it's a 6. I know we don't see a lot of upsets like we want to, like we have, but I think this Sweet 16 Elite 8 weekend is going to be really, really good. A lot of good teams left.
Yeah. I'm going to jump it and go to an 8, so just sequential, 4, 6, 8. I've enjoyed it. I think Friday was tough. So Max and I watched basketball together on Friday. All the games, the best game was your Big Blue Nation.
Yep.
Beating Santa Clara, that was the best game. Everything else was kind of a snooze fest for the most part. But Saturday and Sunday were awesome games for the most part. Again, Michigan ass whooping, Michigan State kind of an ass whooping. But then those night games are really, really good. So, and I agree with Nick. We're gonna have some electric Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games. Nick, what's been your favorite game so far?
Favorite game so far, even though it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, Siena Duke. I hate Duke so much. So to have Siena kind of push them to the brink there, I thought was a lot of fun. Anytime Duke can lose is a good day.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they didn't lose there, but hopefully the Johnnies can take it to them, in this next round. And if not, then I think the UConn Michigan State winner is going to take them down. I don't think Duke gets back to the Final Four this year.
I agree, and that was an excellent game. And I was with Max. Max and I joined together, and we did the same pick, Wisconsin. Horrible pick, Max. Shout out to you.
Stupid pick.
So I was needing Siena to just uplift me, and it was close, and it was a good finish. So it was a good game. Max, what do you think your favorite game was so far?
I know Dylan's going to hate me for this one, but I'm going to go with St. John's, Kansas. The fact that Kansas, look at him shake his head. Kansas clawed their way back into it. Oh, just loses the buzzer. It was a great game to watch.
Yep.
But yeah, I know Dylan was pulling for Kansas there, which I think I was too. I can't really stand Rick Pitino, but it is what it is.
Slick Rick. Yeah, I would say that was a really good one. Vanderbilt, Nebraska. I'll go with that one. The ball that was halfway in. Most of us were probably asleep. Nick, you were for sure asleep, I know.
100%.
Yeah.
But so was I. But I saw the highlights, so yeah, that was a really good one. I watched the whole I got to the 10-minute mark of the second half and fell asleep, unfortunately. Just the environment in Oklahoma City for the Nebraska fans. Really good showing and weekend for them. Gonna be crazy with Nebraska, Iowa. We'll get into that in a second. Max, hit me with a question.
Yeah. Well, March Madness or any in general.
Just March Madness. We'll keep it rolling.
Okay. Well, then who do we have going to the Elite Eight? Let's just pick it right now.
All right, well then we're getting into the Sweet 16. I like that, Max. You're progressive, and I appreciate you. Let's get into the Sweet 16 games. Let's go to the East. Duke, St. John's, Michigan State, UConn. Nick, who do you have coming out to the Final Four? So you can pick it through the Elite Eight, and who do you have to the Final Four?
Yeah, I I unfortunately do have Duke coming out of that Sweet 16 matchup.
Okay.
I have UConn beating the boys from East Lansing, and I have UConn, the Fighting Hurleys, going to the Final Four out of that region.
Okay. Let's talk about that. Max, who do you have at the Final Four? Just throw your team out.
UConn.
Yep. All right. I'm gonna push against you guys. I have Duke. Um, I think so. Here's where I agree that I think St. John's could be a test for Duke because they press and Duke's kind of have some injuries and having issues with turnovers lately. And the same breath in the UConn Michigan State game. Michigan State had 15 turnovers against Louisville, right? UConn's going to get a lot of turnovers, I think. So I think UConn does get by Michigan State. I think Duke UConn is going to be a hell of a matchup. It's what's the difference in the game? What do you see? I don't know. Why do you think UConn beats Duke, Nick?
I think UConn's big guy that's been there for 15 years, whatever his last name is, Caravan or whatever,
Yep.
is going to shut down Boozer in a way that he probably hasn't been shut down much this year. So I think he really neutralizes Duke's best player and probably the best player on the floor, just from a defensive standpoint. And I just think, I hate to be this way, but I like Hurley over Shire too, right? Like, I think that really matters at this point. And that's why I could see St. John's giving Duke a game. I mean, I think Slick Rick, as he showed in the Kansas game, he needs less than 4 seconds to score. We all knew that. But I think he could outcoach Shire. I just think Duke has too much talent for St. John's. But I think UConn's talent's going to match up with Duke.
I agree with everything you said. The only reason why I'm against UConn is the X factor for UConn, aside from Caravan, would probably be their other big man, Terrace Reed. Played at Michigan previously, and I saw enough of Terrace Reed to know that he is fumble-rooski prone. Just why I'll lean Duke in that one. That's it. Let's move to the West. So top right, Arizona, Arkansas, Texas, Purdue. I'm gonna go ahead and throw mine out. I can't see Purdue losing to Texas. I want to pick Darius Acuff so bad, but I can't. Arizona, Purdue, it's real chalky. I think Arizona is the best team in the country aside from Michigan. I've got Arizona. Thoughts, Nick?
Yeah, I have Arizona too. I keep hearing they're the best team in the country. I know I'm the March Madness expert here. I haven't watched them that much, but I think, I think I need them to beat Arkansas. As a Kentucky fan,
Yep.
I need Arizona to beat Arkansas by 30. I just need it. I need it as much as I need my next meal. I love Coach Cal. Glad he did what he did at Kentucky, but I need him to get his brain speed in the Sweet 16.
That's it. All right, we gotta kind of stop there. How are the feelings towards Coach Cal?
Feelings towards Coach Cal are still positive. The thing is, Kentucky's a really hard job. It's a job that's hard to do at a high level for 15 years, and he did it for 12. A breakup needed to happen. It's like breaking up with the girl that, and then both sides go away and they both get in shape and they both get prettier. Kentucky isn't getting prettier. They're not getting in shape, but Cal did, right? And so I think Cal had kind of run his course at Kentucky, and he knew that he needed a new stop. Arkansas gives him money, and they've got good NIL, and I think he's going to win a lot of games there. I just don't think it's the program that he's going to win another national championship at. And let's not forget, Musselman went to how many Elite Eights there? So it's not like they haven't had success before Cal.
Yep.
Just I know I'm saying negative things, even though I said positive about Cal, but yeah, Darius Acuff is a dude, though. I mean,
He is.
there's guys, and there's dudes. Darius Acuff is a dude,
Yes.
and Cal is at his best when he has a point, and Darius Acuff can do that against anybody in the country.
I agree. Agreed. All right. So Nick has Arizona. I'm gonna come back to Kentucky. Max, who do you have in this region though for a second?
I'm gonna go. Well, I think Texas gets Purdue. I've seen enough Purdue basketball where I think Purdue fumbles through this game, and Texas is sneaky good enough to hang around and make a shot to win the game. Then, so I think Texas is a Cinderella still, but I do think Arizona's guards are going to be too much for Acuff, and he's going to be a one-man show, and he's going to run out.
And then
And then I'm going to go Arizona to the Final
so
Four.
3 Arizona sweeps.
Yeah.
All right, respect. Nick, is Mark Pope on the hot seat?
Not the hot seat.
Okay.
Like he's not getting fired this year. I don't think they have the money to fire him this year.
Fair enough.
Next year, I think he has to win a lot of games. He needs to be a 3, 4, 5 seed. He needs to win a couple games, or it's going to be really hard to bring him back. The issue that you have that I think we're about to see with UNC and maybe Kansas, though, is who do you hire?
Yep.
And that's what got him in hot water here. You call Hurley, says no, and then they go down to Scott Drew at Baylor. He says no, and then you're kind of scrambling. So
Yep.
they've got to have a guy that they're going to go after if they get rid of him.
It's true.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I've heard Dusty May's name get thrown out there for UNC, and I've heard a bunch of names like Brad Stevens and all that good stuff. But yeah, Kentucky next year, maybe someone will get fired that they can scoop them up.
Brad Stevens.
Bill Self at Kentucky. What about that?
Brad Stevens ain't go. Why would he? I just hate the guy so
Bill
much.
Self retires from Kansas this year, takes a year off. Bill Self to Kentucky.
I just hate him. I don't know. I just hate him so much. He's a good coach. I should say yes, but I just hate him.
Fair enough. All right, let's keep cooking, Max.
I mean, honestly, sorry, did I cut in?
No, go ahead, Nick. Go.
No, I was gonna say, honestly, the Iowa State guy might be the guy. He could be at UNC next year. Yeah. I think he's a really good coach, and it'd be kind of odd for Kentucky to hire him after he just beat their brains in. But I think he's a dude.
Yeah, he is a dude who wears too small of shirts. So
very small.
Gotta respect it.
Yeah.
He's a boy.
The nips are flying 100% of the time, but you know, he knows who he is, and he
owns it.
He owns it. Yeah, he owns it.
Nips. Yeah, he's got shiny, hard ones. All right, let's move to the South. Speaking of hard, shiny, soft things, corn's everywhere, Max, in the South.
Love a good corn battle. I'm going to take Houston out of this. I don't care who wins the battle of corn. I think Illinois is all they do is shoot threes, and they're going to run cold. And Houston's very, very gritty, and that's going to actually travel. And the game is in Houston, so welcome to it.
What makes Houston gritty?
They got a good freshman. They get rebounds. I think Illinois is a bunch of Europeans that like to shoot threes and play basketball outside on the perimeter.
You ever been to Houston's campus?
I have not.
I have. You should have just said their campus makes them gritty because it's because it's in the hood.
All right, there we go.
Nick, what do you think here?
Yeah, I actually have Houston winning the whole thing. So a little foreshadowing there, I guess. But I think Kelvin Sampson makes them gritty. I think he's just a gritty coach. I mean, all of his teams have always been that type of team. So I know they're not quite as good defensively this year as they have been in the past, but I think they score the ball better. So, but Illinois, I know we'll get to the Michigan-Alabama game. Illinois is kind of the Alabama. It's like, hey, if they're on though,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
you're not beating them, you know. So you always run the risk of that. That's the problem. To go back to my love for Coach Cal, that's the problem with this tournament. It's one and done. So you have one bad game, Houston, and Illinois is going to get by you. But I do have Houston. I have no idea about Nebraska and Iowa. You two are the Big Ten guys. I'll defer to you all on that.
Yeah. So Nick, I did look at your bracket. By the way, he's in like 42nd or 44th place. So our expert is doing better than me. And I will say that I probably watch more college basketball than anyone in our pool. And I'm in like 56th, 57th place. So that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Um, I did see you had Houston over Michigan. To the deferral regarding Nebraska and Iowa, yes, Max and I are season ticket holders in Michigan basketball. We did see both teams play Michigan, not live Iowa. We did see them at the Big Ten tournament though.
Mm-hmm.
Nebraska is a much better team, but Iowa has a better coach, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be a stupid slugfest, and it's going to be just how many Busch Lights can you drink in the stands. And yeah, I agree with both of you. I think you kind of are hitting at it. Like whoever wins between Houston and Illinois, you both said Houston is going to win the game. I've got Illinois. I think
Okay.
Illinois, I told Max in like December, January, they're probably one of my favorite teams to watch. They're very, very, very good offensively, and it's more than just threes. They get to the rim with Boswell and Weigler, and they do have Eastern European shooters. So I mean, it's like a sexy mix. So I honestly have Illinois going to the Final Four and potentially get into the final game against Michigan. So yeah, with that, let's go to the Midwest.
Dun,
I
dun,
know we
dun.
all want Michigan here. We all picked Michigan. Duh.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Tennessee, Iowa State. Next.
I don't know. I mean, I've watched some Tennessee basketball and I've been burned many times by Tennessee basketball. Iowa State, I think they look good. We just talked about their head coach in mid Google of his name, and I came back to this page. I'll get his name, but I'm going to go Iowa
TJ
State.
Otzenberger.
Thank you. Michigan's coming out of this, but I'm going to go Iowa State in this game. Michigan, Iowa State in the Elite Eight.
Okay, so we I did not say this, but I had the pleasure of attending a March Madness game with Sir Nick Huckabee back in like 2013, 14 maybe. No, 15, 15. 16 even. Whatever it
16.
was.
Yeah, it was 16, I think.
16. But I also, so 2 years or 3 years later, I was able to attend a March Madness game with Anthony Garcia, and we were able to see Michigan beat Tennessee. I think we got a little rematch of that game. It was in Indianapolis, so the winner would be able to get to go to Indianapolis. So many Tennessee fans. They travel well. I think it'll be a lot of orange in Chicago with a lot of maize and blue. I've got Michigan beating Tennessee. Nick, do you dislike Tennessee more? Or Arkansas? Or who's the rival for Kentucky?
Yeah, I mean, the problem with Kentucky and basketball rivalries is I think this year Arkansas won the SEC tournament. Until this year, Kentucky had won more SEC tournaments than every other school combined. So that's to say they haven't had a lot of
Little
rivals.
brothers.
I think historically it's probably Arkansas. You know, Arkansas had some really good teams in the 90s. Nolan Richardson, the 40 Minutes of Hell. Um, then obviously in the 2000s it turned to Florida, and they always hate Tennessee. So I would say Tennessee of late has been more of a rival. Kentucky beat them twice this year somehow. Tennessee's better than Kentucky this year, but Kentucky beat them twice somehow. So I do hate Tennessee though. This Tennessee Iowa State game, I texted one of my buddies that's a Tennessee fan and said, you know, this game would be better played in a back alley, I think, than a basketball court. It's going to be an absolute bloodbath. And whoever the refs are, good luck because these teams hack every play down the floor. I mean, I can't complain about it because Rick Pitino won a national championship at Kentucky in '96 doing the same exact thing. If you foul every time down the court, they can't call them all. I mean, it's just, and both these teams do that. And I think these teams can also score, so I don't think it's necessarily going to be that like 54-52 game, but it's going to be a bloodbath, and whoever can hit more shots at the end is going to win it. I think it's Iowa State. I hope it's Iowa State. For my Michigan boys, though, I hope it's Tennessee because Rick Barnes cannot get he can't get over the hump. So you want to see him in the Elite Eight. Tennessee has never been to a Final Four. So
Love that.
I think you guys want to see them in the Elite Eight.
100% want to see Tennessee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iowa State's a very good team. They have what could be, I mean, it's not Michigan's Achilles heel, it's every team's Achilles heel, 3-point shooting. So, yeah, that's a little bit scary. To your point, Nick, the Iowa Nebraska game is literally the same thing as Tennessee Iowa State, with just a little bit less talent. So, it's a good point. I had a thought, Max. I forgot what I was going to say, but I think we'll just keep cooking into the Final Four while Dylan tries to remember what he was thinking about. So we've got our
Wait,
own.
do we want to talk about Michigan, Alabama, or we just
Yeah, we do. We should. Thank you. Yes, that's not what I was going to say, but let's do it. Let's start with you, Nick. Nate Oates is the kid who got suspended going to play with all the weed. You're the
I don't know. I don't see how he can, but it's Nate Oates. I mean, he let an accessory to murder play in the NCAA. So so maybe. The thing with Alabama though, they are, you know, they're the college version of the Golden State Warriors, where they could literally go 22 for 44 from three. And I don't think Nate Oates is ever going to win a national championship, because if we create a list of all the teams that have shot well for 6 games in the NCAA tournament, it's like 2018 Villanova, and that's it. So I just don't think it's winning basketball, but it's not. I mean, I don't want to scare you guys, but they are a team that can shoot their way out of a situation,
paper
and
bag. Yeah,
yeah.
it's
So
scary. Nope. I They scare me shitless. I had them losing to Hofstra because of how scared I am of them. I was rooting for Texas Tech deep down because I think
yeah,
Max and I both agreed that whereas Christian Anderson's a dog, he doesn't have enough dogs around him, but Alabama is only built with shooting, so it is scary. Um, but I think the difference is Yaxel Landenborg, whereas Johnson, they can step out and defend that Alabama has not seen that height on the perimeter, so they can make them very very uncomfortable. Michigan is not going to have a problem scoring. I know Nate Oates is going to throw maybe like a 3/4 press at them, do some weird 1-3-1 zone. Doesn't matter. I don't think in the long run. I just think as long as Michigan can disrupt the 3-point line enough, they will be playing on Sunday. Um, this is one of the best college basketball teams I've ever seen live. It's just how easy things come to them with the big men, with Mara and Mraz. And then the biggest scary situation is if Cadeau were to pick up fouls. And then who do you? But I think, Max, your answer would be
Trey McKinney.
that's right.
He'll step right in. He's played well the whole tournament. He's looked calm, cool, and collected. But to test Dylan, just run him off the 3-point line. And I think Dylan hit the nail right on the head with the size of Yaxel and Merez. Being able to move their feet and guard the guards is going to be something Alabama is going to be like, holy shit. And if they shoot, they're going to better put it to the moon because they're going to have to get it over them because they're going to be flying at them. So it will be interesting to see what Nate Oates does, and especially defensively, because he knows he's not as big. So if he goes into a zone, makes Michigan shoot, that's another question mark. So we'll see.
Zones against Michigan have gleaned success at times, right? Minnesota had a little bit of success whilst playing in a zone. So I think that's the way Alabama has to go, but we'll see because you just find the person, Yaxel or Merez or Roddy Gale, flash the middle of the zone and then work out of it. So we'll see. I'm very, very excited, Nick, to say the least.
Yeah.
Let us hear our final game and then our champion, and then we'll keep cooking. And I figured out my question I was going to ask Nick, so we'll do it right after. I will go first. I have Michigan beating Duke in a revenge game. Michigan over Duke in my national championship. Max.
I'm going Michigan over UConn. Michigan cutting down the nets.
And I know Nick's answer, but go ahead and say it.
Houston over Michigan. I don't love it. I think Michigan's really good. It could be either. I think Yaxel's a difference maker, so we'll see.
As long as Yaxo steers clear of Alabama after the game and doesn't partake in any of their party favors, feel confident getting out of the weekend.
Yeah.
Because he'd be the one. He'd be the one. All right, Nick. So Max and I mainly me, I say this time and time again, college basketball referees are the absolute worst refs in all of sports. We have honed in on a few Big Ten refs. Larry Scarado's my boy. Max, by the way, I requested to follow him on Instagram today.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. We'll see. Do you have any SEC refs that you like, just like you see and you're like, this sucks?
Doug Shouse.
Doug Shouse. All right. Do you know if he's in the Sweet 16?
I'm not
The
sure.
list came out. All right.
His last name
Last name.
his last name is spelled like shows, Shows.
I love
He has something against Kentucky. I'm convinced of it. I mean, he hated Coach Cal when he was at Kentucky. He hates Mark Pope, who is just he's a Mormon guy from Utah. Like
Yeah.
he's unhateable other than losing basketball games. And just there's something about Doug Shouse that he hates Kentucky. So
Doug Shouse is your Larry Scarato. I like that. All right,
yeah.
good. All right. Thinking about March Madness in general now, Nick, not just this year, but what is, if you could fixate on one moment, what would be your favorite March Madness moment of all time?
Oh man. I think it was once again I'm old, right, Dylan? 98 Scott Padgett hit a three against Duke in the Elite Eight. It was kind of a ball that got hit around under a minute to go. I think they were down one, and it just came right out to him, perfect top of the key, and he just nailed it. They were the 2 seed, Duke was the 1 seed, and of course Christian Laettner had just happened 6 years before that, so it was kind of a I was like 10 years old too. So think of this with Kentucky, and this is why I'm such a Kentucky fan. Never went to the university. Nobody in my family did, but you grow up like you all kind of grew up in the middle of nowhere too, where you just like latch on to the state school, right? But I'm 8 years old. They win it in 96 with Rick Pitino. They go back in 97 and lose to the Mike Bibby Arizona Wildcats in overtime. Patino leaves for the Celtics. We get Tubby Smith and they win it in 98. So 8, 9, 10-year-old Nick sees that 3-year stretch.
Banners.
And I'm just like, yeah, man, I'm like hooked forever. You know what I mean? So I still get pissed off at 18 to 23-year-olds playing basketball as a 37-year-old man, and it's insane, but I can't, it's hard to explain to non-sports fans,
Yep.
right? My family was sitting like that Duke game. They came back from like 15 down. I remember like my dad saying, "You can't move. Like Nick, go sit back over there because we're making a
Sounds like
run.
Max.
We're
Yes.
making a run." You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm like 10 years old, and he's like, "Sit in that chair right now." I'm like, "All right."
Yeah. No,
So
true.
yeah,
You're speaking our language, Nick. We you got to wear the same outfit. Paglia looks at me when I say this was the greatest thing in my life. I remember one point saying this is my favorite thing. If I said it to her, if I could marry this situation this time, I would. Yeah, like yeah. So I love that passion. Let me ask you about your least favorite moment. And I want to say it for you, but I want to hear what yours is.
what do you think it is?
So Max, there's a prom in law school. There's a prom.
We won that game. No, you're wrong because we won that game.
That
That was
season.
the Notre Dame game.
Damn it.
That
Okay,
wasn't
okay, okay.
Wisconsin. That was so yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, so I had the days off, but it was the team Max that didn't lose a game. The Kentucky boys who had eyebrow or unibrow, right?
No. That was
No.
12 when they won it.
Oh, so I'm off.
In 15 they had Cat, Devin Booker,
Yeah.
Tyler Eulis, Darius
Oh.
Johnson.
So then I don't want to speak for you. What was your least favorite? What was your most gut-wrenching one?
So that team losing to Wisconsin was tough. Frank Kaminsky shot a ball in a tie game when the shot clock was going off. If that game was played today and they reviewed it, Kentucky wins. So that one's tough.
Oh, yeah.
That was in the Final Four. I truly think though the Oakland loss a couple years ago was the worst.
Okay.
And that guy, so you all are probably tired of listening to me talk about Kentucky basketball, but if you'll give me 2 minutes to explain this situation, I think it's worth it.
But TV timeout. Come on, we have to have a shout out a sponsor.
Okay.
All right, excellent. Our quick shout out to the University of Toledo College of Law. where learning is a blessing and blessings are astronomical. Go to the metaphorical legal moon with UT Law. TOL.
EDO.
Go Rockets. All right, Nick, let's get back to Heartbreak City. Jack Golke, hit me.
Man, so I'm vacationing in Jamaica at an all-inclusive resort with friends, right? Uh, Kentucky has two top 10 NBA picks. They play Oakland. So I'm going to go to the sports bar before dinner and watch it, and then I'll go to dinner. Well, Golke hits the first like four threes with Kentucky going under every screen as if they have no idea who Jack Golke is, the kid who hit, 163s in a year and didn't take any 2-point field goals. And as this game's just going on, it's like, man, they're not changing anything. So watching that game was being in Jamaica with like friends and being around strangers as I'm just having a complete meltdown was like an all-time low. I had brought like my Kentucky jersey to wear the next day too and everything out at the beach. And then the worst part is we're with like three other couples, so 8 of us are there, and we go to dinner at a hibachi place, at the resort. And I'm like realizing in real time that it's like the end of the Coach Cal era, right? We lost to St. Peter's a couple years ago. And so I'm just overcome with like abject sadness as this hibachi guy's like trying to throw shrimp in my mouth, and I'm like, no, give my shrimp to somebody else. And like the other people there just kind of didn't understand like why I was just so sad. So that was a low point for me.
Oh, I feel that. I feel that to my bones. If I'm gonna be super sad, I hope to have Max around me just so then we can like feed off of each other. Because
Commensurate, yeah.
the solo sadness is it's the toughest, right? And I've been on a vacation where like people around you just what's his problem? And it's like you can't really say like, yeah, I'm letting 19-year-olders ruin my day, but they do.
Yes.
Humble.
All right, that's a tough one. Sorry to bring that back. All right, before we move off of March Madness, Max, this is also for you. So you think about it a little bit longer. Nick, how would you fix the tournament? Would you do anything?
No, no changes. 10 out of 10 would watch every time. I don't put more teams in it. I know Texas is making a little run, but they didn't deserve to be in it, if we're being honest.
No, yeah.
I I think it's good. People are complaining about not enough upsets because of NIL, but I think actually NIL gives, the St. John's and the kind of the second tier teams a lot better chance. So I would change nothing.
I agree. The mid-level power four, whatever it is, power five, power four, have a better opportunity with NIL. I agree. Max, would you do any changing?
No scheduling. Just move the games up a little bit.
Yeah.
The 10:45 tips are tough, especially on the East Coast. That's like one,
Yeah.
2 o'clock by the time they're finishing here. So that would be the only now. Just move them up a little.
Yep.
All right, I'd like to amend my answer. Move the games up.
Yep.
Move the games.
Yeah.
Saturday,
Exactly.
the week game of the weekend or the round of 32 with the Saturday Sunday where it's only at noon and then not until 2:30. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
I understand that's the same place, but you could like start the other place at the like a 1:30 or so.
Yep.
Yeah, give us the staggered games on the weekend would be good.
Yes. And then so I'll throw this out here. Let the higher seed, so the better seed, use their own balls. I'm getting rid of the March Madness balls. I'm letting so like when you go to an arena, you use Michigan's Jumpman ball, you use their Nike ball, their Zoom ball. Let them bring their own balls, and that's what you use. That's what I would say.
What about just a uniform NCAA ball though? Right?
Isn't that's what they're using?
But I guess why isn't that used in every game?
Oh, so start from the beginning of the season with that. Okay, yeah. Do
Like the
that one or the
NBA.
other. Yeah, one or the other. Yes, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Also, I went and watched Kentucky get beat by Tennessee in the Sweet 16 last year at uh Lucas Oil in Indianapolis.
Yep.
That sucks.
Oh,
Watching a basketball game in a football stadium sucks. This was the first time I had done it. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I know it's a money-making deal, so maybe I'd change that. But I think that stinks for fans, and it stinks probably for the players, because I could assume that backdrop is not fun. Yeah.
So, great point. Max doesn't know it, Nick, but if Michigan does advance, we will be going to Lucas Oil for the Natty this year. His ass is getting dragged there. I had been there once previously, and this would be my saddest moment of my March Madness watching life. It was just the year after COVID. Michigan, everything was at Lucas Oil. If you kind of remember, the Big Ten tournament was there. Then they had like all the rounds essentially there, and they let certain amount of fans come in, and you had to wear a mask. And Michigan, UCLA had beaten a couple teams, so Michigan was the 1 or the 2 seed, and UCLA was like an 11. And I asked Christina, my girlfriend at the time, I was like, "We gotta go. It's an opportunity to have a trophy, see them advance to the Final Four." Michigan fucking pissed down their leg, shit down their pants. I had half a beer with a mask on during the game, and then drove home in pouring rain straight sideways. One of the most miserable 5 hours drives of my life. That sucked so much. That was so sad. I can still see Mo Wagner. I can still see Franz Wagner, airballing it from the top of the fucking.
And who were the 2 guards that UCLA had?
It was Tyga and
Jaime Hawkins or whatever his name was.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's tough. So.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. One more about March Madness. You guys, come on. It's March, so we gotta get the women here. Women's tournament thoughts.
Give me South Carolina.
All right. Respect. Nick.
Texas.
All right. I'm gonna go not Texas because Texas has Michigan as a 2 seed. Michigan's gonna get them. I'm gonna go UConn. They're just really good. Yeah. They're all really good. They gotta fix their bracket. There's not enough upsets. Women's college basketball needs a little fixing somehow.
It does seem to start kind of in the Final Four sometimes, or Elite Eight.
Elite Eight, yeah. Recently Elite Eight, I would say. Previously, yes, Final Four.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. That's our March Madness talk with our GHL expert, Mr. Nick Huckabee, in episode 161, hucking around. But that's not all. We're going to ask him some more questions as he sticks around. Max, you're up first.
All right, so we just talked to length at March Madness, but Nick, did you play any sports growing up? Basketball, baseball, football, anything? Were you an athlete?
Yeah, I guess I was an athlete. I played basketball until I was a sophomore and realized a 5'11" white kid that doesn't handle the ball very well isn't going to go very far. So I played football and baseball in high school,
Okay.
and then I played college baseball. Played 4 years, Division II baseball.
Right.
Baseball is my first love for sure. Still love the sport.
Where did you play?
Alabama, Huntsville.
Nice. Okay.
So I went south. Yeah, to play baseball, you got to go south. You just play all year round. We'd have teams come down from Indiana, Missouri, and it'd be the first time they were on the field in like March, which was kind of insane to us. But yeah.
Okay, sweet.
Chargers, right, Nick? And what position?
Yeah, Chargers. I played every position in college except for pitcher and catcher at one point. I ended up at second base mostly my junior and senior year. Had the range for shortstop, just not the arm.
Okay.
That's badass. Good question, Max.
Thank you.
I hinted at it, and I know I'm right, but just confirm. Cincinnati Reds?
Cincinnati Reds, yeah. Grew up in southern Kentucky, so it's kind of either Reds 3 hours to the north or Braves 4.5, 5 hours to the south. Unfortunately, my mom grew up on the other side of the river from Cincinnati, so I grew up a Cincinnati fan. Would have been sweet to be a Braves fan in the 90s, but
yeah. All right, respect. Let's just stick right there. Baseball. How are the Reds going to be this year? So 2-parter, and then who do you have in the World Series and winning it all? We're doing our baseball preview in 2 weeks. We'll just either have you come back or we'll have you write in your actual
preview. Yeah, it's a preview of the preview. Yeah. Reds are going to be okay. Hunter Green is already out with bone spurs in his elbow, which is annoying. They do have pitching depth though, so I'm not super concerned about it. And Hunter Green, he's an ace, but he's gonna get hurt. I mean, he throws 102. He's gonna be hurt some. So they're lacking a couple bats. And I'm not saying they signed Eugenio Suarez, which I know you all are Tigers fans, but the greatest trade in the last 15 years was us sending Alfredo Simon to Detroit for Eugenio Suarez.
Yeah. Big Pasta sucked ass.
All because you all had Iglesias at short and you didn't. Well, and then you had Castellanos at third, I think, so you couldn't put Suarez there. So sign Suarez. He's going to be an added addition in the middle of the order to help protect Ellie a little bit. Bullpen, I think, is going to be good, not great. The best thing the Reds have going is the Central's weak. So, yeah. I think the Cubs are going to be good, and outside of that, you're going to have a bunch of 75 to 82 win teams. So I think they could get back to the playoffs. Fingers crossed. As far as World Series, I mean, who's going to beat the Dodgers? I would love for your all's Tigers to throw the arms at them, but I mean, the Reds played them in the first round last year, and it's like they have. Max Muncy hitting eighth in their lineup. It's like that dude would hit fourth for the Reds. It's
stupid.
It's insane.
And they got better. They signed.
Yeah.
Like who'd they sign?
The closer from the Mets, Diaz.
Yep.
So they shored him up, and then they
added a bat. Who was it?
From New York, Bellinger.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just crazy.
So yeah, I don't know. I think the NL's kind of wrapped up. I hope you guys get the Cubs so Big Cat can suck one. I don't know. I think the Tigers are going to be solid. Max and I kind of touched on it earlier, but we're hoping for the ALCS. Max, we're going to get rings if they win the AL. Ushers.
Yeah, we're part of the team.
Yeah, that's right. What do you think, Max? Who's your World Series pick?
Yeah, so like you said, it's tough to go against the Dodgers. It's very tough, but I would love to see somebody get them. In the NL, I really don't know who else there could be. I guess the Cubs were there. It's gonna be the Dodgers, sad to say, but in the AL, I think it's way more wide open, obviously, and I could see maybe like,
A's.
Yeah, the A's. Is that what you just said, or did you say?
Jays.
Oh. I'm gonna go with the Tigers. Let's go Dodgers, Tigers.
Damn,
keep it
crazy there.
Homer.
Crazy pick.
Homer. Who you going with?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the San Diego Padres and the Detroit Tigers. It shall end how it starts.
That's a great pick.
1984. Shout out to our parents. Max, hit Mr. Huckabee with another question.
All right. I know we just talked sports. We talked baseball. We talked basketball. But Nick, what is your favorite sport to sit down and watch? At home or in person, either or.
Yeah. I mean, it might be college basketball.
Okay.
There's two things that go with that. I think it's adequately unpredictable. And they're also short games. It's like such an old man take, but it's kind of sick being like 2 hours and 10 minutes,
That's kind of part of the reason Dylan and I have season tickets, because they're not long-winded. We know it's going to be like 2 hours, 2:10, we're out the door.
I will say though, they're like going to a game, it's baseball. Like baseball game is the best in person because it's just you don't really have to pay attention. The food's good. It's summer. It's good people watching, so you can leave in like the sixth inning and nobody cares.
Yeah, that's so true.
On that same preface though, best atmosphere. You don't have to pick one of these two, like playoff baseball or March Madness game. You can go to a different one, but what would you say is the best atmosphere you've been a part of?
College football atmosphere is different. It's just, I don't know. There's just something fun about it. And even going to, I've been to an Alabama game, I've been to a Tennessee game, I've been to a Notre Dame game, and they're all different, but they're just, I don't know. It's cool vibes,
That's fair. Good answer. I don't want to speak for Max, but we're kind of over the big house just because some of the Michigan crowd, it's a lot of old money, so it's tough. But I personally have not been to an SEC game outside of Kentucky.
It's
So,
not respectfully to Kentucky. It's not. It's not an SEC game.
and it was versus Toledo too. So it wasn't.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. All right. Good answer. Good
I'd
question.
love to go to Death Valley. I mean, I think going to Tiger Stadium is like a bucket list item.
Yeah. At night too.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
Would. All right. Max asked about favorite thing to watch. We've asked about what you played. What would you consider your greatest athletic achievement throughout your life thus far? And you're 34 years of age.
37.
Just give me, come
uh, man, I don't know. I won freshman of the year in our conference, my freshman year of baseball. That was kind of unexpected. Came from a small school. Didn't start the year starting on our team, and then hit like 340 as a freshman. It's kind of the first time. It was kind of a big confidence boost for me.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
Wow.
That was kind of sick. I ended up getting like
casual
first
brag.
team. I ended up getting like second team all conference my junior year, first team all conference my senior year. But by that time, I was like, I was a grown man. I was just a little boy as a freshman.
That's awesome. Batting
Did you,
340, not a big deal.
was it
Yeah.
like 18, 19, 20, 21, right around that age, Nick? Like you went straight from high school to college, right? There's none of this
Yeah, and
little
I have a June birthday too. So I
young.
graduated high school at 17 and started college at 18. So I was 18-year-old freshman. Yeah.
Very cool. No, that's very, very awesome. I was
Yeah.
really hoping you were gonna say the finishing the 100-mile race.
Yeah, yeah. I was kind of between that. So yeah, I did a 100-mile ultra marathon back in the fall up in like the Pinckney area of Michigan. Is such a cool experience, man. I know that's crazy. I know that's crazy, but if you can do any type of endurance sports, especially as we're getting to be old guys, like it keeps you active. It
Yeah.
lets me eat pepperoni pizza more than I probably should. And I'm not a super religious guy, so it's like being in the middle of the woods at like 2 a.m., 65 miles into it, trying to figure out kind of where you are, and it's a bit of a religious experience. It was cool.
He's talking dan, 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 dan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the
It's like,
backwoods of Pennsylvania, Michigan. Oh yeah.
yeah, I heard the banjos and I was like, hell yeah, get over here and kill me right now.
That is
I
crazy. 100 miles just straight.
Yeah, yep,
Whoa.
straight.
Wow.
Um, and
how long?
I'm going out to Utah, out towards Zion National Park in a few weeks and running a 100 kilometers.
Okay.
So that'll be cool too, hopefully.
Oh my
So
goodness.
I'm looking at it. I pulled you up on Ultra Sign Up. Is 21 hours 43 minutes accurate? That sounded
Yep,
right? Okay.
yep.
21 hours straight. Like, did you walk any of that?
Yeah, yeah. There's
Oh,
some walking
some
involved
more.
there. Yeah. I had like a stress fracture in my shin kind of the last 8 or 10 miles too. So there was some
Hmm.
soul searching. Let's just say you learn a little bit about yourself in those situations.
That is
Wild.
badass, Nick.
Whoa.
Honestly, so Max, yeah, humble brag guy here. He was our valedictorian in our law school class. He Nick is a very competitive motherfucker. He's a very kind, competitive motherfucker. Uh, I just know that you look at something and you say, I'm gonna go do that." Someone tells you can't, you're definitely like, "Oh yeah, okay, gonna find out." So I love that
Mhm.
about you. So you just said you're going out to Utah to do another similar one. Is there anything else? Like, are you a triathloner, or do you do anything else in that realm, like kind of similar to that stuff? Or
Yeah, so after college baseball, I had like a come to Jesus moment where I'm sitting on the couch downing a Little Caesars pizza by myself, and I'm like, man, I can't, I can't do this anymore. Like, you're just looking down at yourself, and you're like, this is not, this is not the direction I want to go. So I started running a little bit, and then about the time after law school, I got into triathlon, did some like sprint distance, some half Ironman. I've done like 3 Ironman triathlons too. Um, and those are tough. Like the cycling part of it is just so time consuming. So the last 2 or 3 years, we've kind of just gotten into more running, anything from 5Ks to ultra marathons. So yeah, I'm getting, I don't want to call myself a runner because that has like a connotation. But yeah, I would say endurance sport enthusiast.
Yeah,
Nice.
you are not a runner, Max. He was I believe Nick got concussion playing intramural football, flag football. I wasn't there for that, but I think it happened.
You came and visited. It's like one of the few things I remember. You came and visited me in the hospital. So I played
Too many beers.
Max. It was wild. Like, I mean, I played football from third grade through high school. I played baseball, from the time I could walk until I was 22 years old. I had never, like, I had got a hairline fracture in my ankle my junior year of football. Other than that, I wasn't hurt. I
Yeah.
mean, like, ever. And I'm like 28 years old playing intramural flag football in law school, and somebody like undercuts me. I hit my head. And the next thing I know, I wake up like 2 days later with like a brain bleed. I was in the hospital for a couple of days. This is my first semester of law school. It was
What?
insane. It was insane. I
We
mean, it
didn't
was
see
just like
Oh
it
we
was
my.
didn't see
crazy.
Nick, we didn't see Nick in the IM fields anymore.
Yeah, I would have.
Yes.
I would have stayed away. Just said, "I'll sit in the stands. I'll be coach. Call me coach."
Yeah. Yeah,
Uh,
that was retiring. I don't play pickup basketball. That's not for me.
Yeah.
we went to a tournament not last summer but the summer before, and I definitely screwed up my Achilles tendon to the point where I didn't tear it, but I screwed it up to enough to be like, oh F. Yeah.
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 It
Um
you get old quick, man.
yeah, 100%. Honestly, Nick, shout out to that kid who undercut you, led to your brain bleed, probably why you became valedictorian at University of Toledo College of Law. So shout out to that kid.
Shout out that frat guy that,
Frat.
still deserves a swift punch to the nose because it's not like we weren't winning. We weren't good.
And I just imagine your crew just being out there to be out there. And like,
Just like once
yeah,
again trying to eat, we just want to eat pizza guilt free, and it's like
yeah,
19-year-olds that didn't make it in high school.
Yeah,
Just
we were with undergrads, Max. Yes, it
yeah.
was.
yeah.
Yes. So,
Sounds about right.
Shame on us for being out there, to be honest with you, but still.
all right. Last question on the running, then I'll turn it back to Max. Any tips you have for like someone? I don't know. That's not like we're not talking about Stevie who's sitting on the couch, getting ready to watch Harry Potter HBO, but like someone who's kind of athletic. Do you have any tips for them generally? Like, how do you get into like triathlon?
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily triathlon, but just figure out what you like because it is, I kind of liked running, so I got into triathlon. And then I like played squash a little bit, which is kind of like racquetball adjacent. And, I think just be active in a lot of different things. If it's pickleball, if it's softball, and then figure out what you really like. For whatever reason, I really like running. I don't know. There's, it's kind of meditative in a way that I think I need the way I am. And yeah, I think just be active and figure out what works for you. If it's high rocks or it's CrossFit or whatever, I think you got to find something. And in talking, like I see some older guys at these races that I do, and I always kind of pick their brain. How do you get to be 60 years old and you're still doing this stuff? And they just always say like you've just got to stay consistent with it. So I think that's where I'm just going to try to stay healthy and not pull an Achilles
Yep.
like Dylan said, and stay consistent with it.
Yeah. Since I've last seen you, I've had a hip replaced, sore Achilles. It's been a tough road, but I'm consistent. I have a Papa Shot game machine.
Okay.
I play that every day. So kind of, I'm not gonna say I'm a triathlete, but I am a Papa Shot athlete. So,
Yeah, yeah. What's your like? Right? Is there like a time?
oh
In
yeah.
mind?
Yep,
What is
as
it?
long as the power doesn't go out, we keep it updated pretty well. It's it's plugged into the wall. 178. So I like to go to the bar once in a while and challenge kids. It's
Yeah. If you see
uh,
Dylan Loga in the bar, Nick, he's hustling for money. He lets
yeah.
kids win the first round, and he goes, "Oh, double or nothing on the second. Let's do it." There
I've
it
actually
is.
won money several times. So yeah.
What's the tip for that? If you can give not like your best tip, but what's
Yeah.
like a third tier tip?
Actually, like it's kind of just shooting. It's not shooting, but it's shooting the basketball, but staying focused. Don't move your body, and like you're grabbing the ball without trying to look your head. Keep your head still. It's like everything stays one. It's just like a free throw, right? Everything stays the same. It's just a couple moving cards with the hands. That's it. And it's success.
But also volume, right? Like you've got to get a lot of shots off.
Gotta make it. So you gotta be quick. It's gotta be left to right to it's gotta grab left hand to right to shoot. And it's kind of like systematic. And that's I have it up. I have it 2 rooms down from me, so I practice. But same idea as you, right? Staying consistent. That's the name of the game. It's finding something you like to do and staying consistent with. That's very well said, Nick. So thank you for that. All right, I know we're down to the last couple questions here. We talked about how you still are in the greater Toledo area. What's your favorite thing about being in the greater Toledo area?
Yeah, no traffic, I think, compared to other cities. I was trying to leave Chicago at like 5:30 a couple months ago, and that was insane. And I don't know how people do that every day. I've got family that lives out in Denver, and it's like you can't drive anywhere at any time of the day. So I think no traffic is pretty sick for living in a city of 400,000 people.
All right, good answer. Respect, Max.
All right. So obviously you're a big Kentucky guy. Who would be like, and the Reds? Who would be your NFL team?
Bengals, which has
Bengals.
been historically bad, but I mean, we have, I'm going to say we have the best quarterback in the NFL, so that's cool.
I have a hot take here, Max. That's a good segue. Do you have a follow up?
Yeah, I was going to ask him. Do you have a hockey team, Nick?
I don't. So
Okay.
I've been in Toledo for 12 years now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like I want the Red Wings to be like the 90s and 2000s Red Wings so I can get into it. Because the Walleye are the Red Wings,
Yep.
ECHL.
Yeah, yep.
So I want to like the Red Wings. So make me like them.
Hopefully they can make them have you like them in the next 11 games here. But my question is ultimate championship. So from your football, basketball, baseball teams, who would you want to see to win the next championship?
Good question. It's a good question.
That is a great question, and it's changed recently.
Okay.
It's the Bengals, which I would have never said that 10 years ago, but I'm bought in. Joey B has to win one. Like, he's too good. They can't waste. If they waste Joe Burrow, I can't be a fan of him anymore.
That's fair. He is, like you said, he's probably in that top tier of like top 5 quarterbacks in the league without a doubt. So he is very good. So the Bengals, all right. I personally would say the Tigers. Want to see a World Series really bad. It'd be awesome.
I just think like baseball is so it's almost like unreasonable to say the Reds could win. Like the Tigers have a chance to win.
Yeah.
But just the money thing is like I just don't think the Reds can actually. I don't think the Reds will ever win one. They technically won one in my lifetime in 1990 when I was 2 years old, but they won't win another one.
Damn. Yeah, the penny pinching is kind of ass. It's very annoying. Why be an owner? Like, what is your owner? Is he obviously he's rich as shit? Does he just not want to spend?
Yeah, I mean he's one of those owners though that I think like the Reds are his asset, right? And unfortunately the Bengals are like that too. It's not like Jerry Jones where they have outside money. It's that's their asset. They don't have liquidity, so they don't spend.
Okay. Hot take for the Bengals. I had this written down, Max. A great question, honestly. So I actually think, Nick, that it was bad that the Bengals and Joe Burrow got to the Super Bowl so quickly as they did. So unfortunately to you will never see Joe Burrow win the Super Bowl. Thoughts on that?
It's the Dan Marino, second year quarterback. I mean Drake May this year, second year quarterback losing the Super Bowl. The reason I probably answered Max's question the way I did is because I'm afraid Dylan's right.
It'll never happen.
And that's probably why I agree with Max with the Tigers, because we haven't seen one since 1984, and I just don't know.
Yeah.
But man, that early 2010s teams, dude, that has to be so frustrating for you all because they were so freaking good.
Our first year law school, 2014, their pitching rotation, I believe, or maybe 13, whatever it was. It was like Scherzer, Porcello, Verlander, and then I think Price was 14. It was just a loaded pitching.
Same.
Yep, sucked. Lost.
And you all had Mags and Cabrera.
Yep.
V-Mart. I mean, you all like the amount of dudes you all have had is annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen 2 World Series, swept in both of them, Cardinals and Giants. So tough sledding.
Yeah.
All right. Honestly, Nick, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us. I have one last question. Again, it's brought to us by the University of Toledo College of Law, where learning is a blessing and blessings are astronomical. Go to the metaphorical legal moon with UT Law. Okay, so I know you are a big supporter of Paws New England.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite dog right now?
Yeah, I do. Frankie, she's a Great Pyrenees mix. She's just kind of an asshole, and I'm drawn towards those types of dogs. She like doesn't listen to me that well, but she'll listen enough to like pull me back in. We have like 5 acres here, so she's just always walking around the fenced-in yard, like guarding the property. She's so chill. She's like 4 years old. Yeah, Frankie's.
Frankie right now, all-time favorite.
Oh yeah, all-time favorite was Gwen, R.I.P. Named her after Tony Gwynn, one of my favorite baseball players. Yeah, I think when you came over and watched the Kentucky, who'd they beat? West Virginia?
Sounds right.
Yeah, she was there. You met her. Yeah, she was the best. Dude, if you don't have a dog, like it's fine, but I judge you a little bit. Everybody should have a dog, and you should adopt it because they're like. I always say, I mean, I'm a bit of a sociopath, as we're finding out very quickly, but I think this actually shoehorns great in a way to finish this. There's only 2 times in your life as a man that you should cry. It's when your sports team wins a championship and when you put a dog down. Other times it's not worth crying. Those are two times you cry. So yeah. So I need the Bengals to win and dogs to stop dying.
And then I'm gonna ad lib it because you don't know this about me now. I'm a cat guy.
Okay, I'm
so pets, any
respect.
pet. So but we had to put a pet down. Our cat, our big guy Vino, well, not too long ago. It's a thing that they don't prepare you for that stuff, Nick. When you're growing up, it's very sad. And pets are awesome, dogs and cats especially. And so shout out to them. Shout out to Nick.
Yeah.
Shout out to Shouty Shows, the ref. Shout out to our guy Max. What's our guy's name?
No, I'm not shouting out Larry.
Larry. Honestly, shout out to Mr. Nick Huckabee. This was episode. We got a quote, so hold on. Our quote for episode 161 of Legally Teaching Engineer Sports, Huckin Around, comes from Bobby Knight. You don't play against opponents, you play against the game of basketball. Effing right, Bob. Effing right. Nick, thank you again for hopping on Legally Teaching Engineer Sports, and we hope to see you soon.
Yeah.